This is the Boundary Road. It goes round the University of Exeter. That is something you see before you even arrive at campus today. Large pizza for £5. Scan me to redeem. Freshers exclusive. Today only. Terms and conditions apply. Any large pizza from the menu only. Valid at participating stores only. Collection only. Exclusive to the app. Voucher valid for 4 days from the date. 4 days? What about today only? Read the small print. Sometimes the small print's good news. 4 days from the date of issue. When was it issued? Doesn't say. Premium crusts and bases are charged as extra single use. Now, scan the code. And if you don't want to scan the code, then just pick one up. Because as you approach the university, you get handed, you look very carefully, a bag. He's got a bag, she's got a bag, he's got a folded up bag, and so has she. And guess what? Papa's got a brand new bag, I've got one too. So scan the code, exclusive freshers offer, valid today only. Terms and conditions apply. Terms and conditions, the good news is that today means today, tomorrow, the day after that, so between today and Tuesday. And freshers only. Well, what is the legal definition of a fresher? I mean, get fresh at the weekend was the advice from Mel and Kim on their 1987 hit, I think, which was showing out their debut single. German Doner Kebab, fabelhaft, also die kommen aus Deutschland. Sehr schön. So you get, thank you, huge savings inside. Sorry?
Have you tried this before?
Not yet, but I used to live in Germany and they have the best doner kebabs.
Which part of you in Germany?
Cologne.
Oh, Cologne, yeah.
And I know the Germans and the Austrians have very good Turkish kebabs.
Yeah.
So it's the best of both worlds.
That's good. Try here one as well.
I will do, thank you very much. Thank you. So yeah, Pab's got a brand new bag and it's got a code to get an exclusive offer available only today and tomorrow and Monday and Tuesday. And if you missed it, you can scan it here. Anyway, I'm not here to talk to you about pizza. I'm talking to you. So I'm tripping over my words at the beginning because I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it, about the fact that this is the Freshers' Fair. There's huge savings to be made also at Casper's. Thank you very much. Who make great desserts. Huge savings inside. I've got a feeling today's going to be all about the vouchers. Now, why am I here? Well, first of all, this, if I haven't made it clear already, is the Stocker Road entrance of the Streatham campus, because there is more than one. Oh, and there's another special offer, thank you very much. This is, I already have it. This is Casper's, of course. Who doesn't love delicious desserts? Thank you very much. The University of Exeter was number one in the Russell groups. Did you know that? For satisfaction. So when Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones said, I can't get no satisfaction, of course that's a double negative. When he says I can't get no satisfaction, it means I can get some satisfaction. I know I'm being Mr. Logic, a pedant. But it's all about the University of Exeter, and why am I doing this? Well, for two reasons. Firstly, Freshers' Fair today, which I can't help noticing is happening the third week of September. It used to be, I'm sure, the second week of October. Rather like the German Oktoberfest, most famous beer festival in the world in Munich. The Oktoberfest is held natürlich, wie man in Deutschland sagt, am Ende September. Yeah, that's right, the last week of September. And just to be absolutely sure, if you didn't get your bag from the people down the road, you can get another one here. And it's not just about discounted pizzas. If you want a job, they're now hiring, which is the American for their recruiting. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Are you students here or you?
Yes.
I was here 89 to 92, as you may have noticed. I'm not your typical fresher. Did physics in that building up there. Still the same. How are you enjoying your time here?
Good, yeah. I've just gone into my second year. So
You're not on film because I haven't asked permission. It's okay. What are you studying?
I'm doing marketing and management.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
How about you?
I do business management, so.
You see, those are sensible degrees. I did physics. What can you do with physics?
Physics is great. It's really applicable.
Actually, you're right. It
You
is.
can branch anywhere with that.
Yeah, and also you can explain how time travel works. So yeah, which is what I'm doing. I'm coming back after 35 years and making videos about the huge savings I can make on kebabs, desserts and pizza. Excellent. and also recruiting. Excellent. Right, I'm gonna have some fun. Right, okay, have a great time in the sunshine, and I will.
Good day.
So I noticed that the exclusive offer today only is valid for 4 days.
Yes.
Yeah, always read the small print, it's always bad news.
T's and
Excellent,
C's
T's and
apply.
C's. You don't even have to be a fresher, you just need to download the app.
Oh yeah.
And don't describe myself as fresh, unfortunately. Excellent.
Have a good
Even
day.
my son's already graduated. Excellent, have fun. Right, so this is one of the most wonderful places on the planet. It was described throughout the 80s and 90s, probably the best university in the world. You don't see those car stickers anymore, probably because of legal action from Carlsberg, who had a remarkably similar advertising campaign. Now that is the library, and it has been since 1983, opened by Princess Anne. Up there, Cornwall House, site of the famed lemon grove behind it, Lafrauda Flats, where a rather grumpy student in around 1991, when he was DJ Tom, THOM, of the Lemon Grove, Saturday evenings called Club Tropicana, where drinks weren't free. Only 90 pence a pint though. He wrote a song called Creep, about the fact that he was a bit of a loner, didn't really fit in. Thankfully, he shared that song with others, his friends in his band of schoolmates called On a Friday from Oxford. They renamed themselves Radiohead, and you've probably heard of them because they became one of the greatest rock bands, possibly the greatest rock band of the 90s. I mean, can you name a better band of the 90s? I mean, there's the Manic Street Preachers if you're Welsh. There's Muse. But actually, Muse wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Radiohead, in my opinion. Radiohead wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Talk Talk and Pink Floyd. And Pink Floyd wouldn't exist if Syd Barrett hadn't been quite so mad. Now this, I might say this a few times, is a beautiful campus. And it's full of beautiful people. It always was. There's even a sport welcome fair. Now, it is interesting to be returning here 35 years on. To be exact, 36, because in March 87, and I've just been talking to Tony Horn, former student here, and pretty much my best friend. Can't think of a longer term, more solid friend. I mean, I've got great friends from my school that go back to 1979. Hello, Dr. Adam Thompson of just outside Worcester, now just outside Vancouver. Do you know you could earn £11 an hour? And you don't even need to be young, you could be old. All ages, whether you're 5 or 105. Why not scan or apply in store? Now, this tree, is it that one? No, that tree. Tony Horn. I don't know if you remember this. If you're watching, do you remember dancing stilettos in the snow? No, do you remember one drunken evening on the way back from the Ram, which is the main bar on campus, lying on the road just there with your lady Heather, at one stage fiance, I'm sure you won't mind me mentioning this, briefly fiance Heather, sitting on your chest whilst I climbed, I think up to about there. I'd always been a tree climber, and my last significant tree climb was back in the spring or summer of '92. Why were you lying on there with Heather sat on your chest and I was up the tree, in both senses of the word? Only time will tell, or will it? I mean, will we ever find out the answer to that question? We haven't discovered it in 3 decades. Perhaps Heather knows. Heather, why did you sit on Tony's chest while he lay down on the road? I think you'll only find out if you speak to Andrew Britton, who became station manager of University Radio Exeter the following year. It was going to be me. I was elected station manager of University Radio Exeter, but I didn't have time to fulfil the role. And instead, I went to London, became a management consultant, moved to Germany, And I was going to say never look back, but I did actually keep coming back to campus, kept visiting the campus radio station for the next 3 years. Now, in case I haven't mentioned, you can get a large pizza for just £5. Exclusive today only. Cross that out. Today, tomorrow, next week. Now, our Freshers' Fair, which in those days was called the Freshers' Squash because you squashed everything into the lower exam hall in other parts of Devonshire House. Now it's all over campus. Did we have snow sports Exeter? Probably not. That's somebody who's been to the London Van Gogh exhibition, or Van Gogh if you're American, or Van Gogh if you're Dutch. Lots of nice freebies. Oh, now, you know, skis get shorter every year. In my day, they were about 170. When my father learned to ski, they were well over 2 meters 10. Les Deux Alpes, Alpe d'Huez, both fantastic ski resorts. Hello. Tell me about Snow Sports Exeter. I'm doing this for a thing.
Yeah, so we
Still love
run
it.
the uni ski trips. So
Fantastic.
Deux Alpes was last year,
Great
and
resort.
Alpe d'Huez was the year before that.
Another great resort.
Yeah, they're
Love it.
both really good weeks.
Excellent. And how many students do you normally have going to them?
So Alpe d'Huez we had 1,200
Wow.
because that was the first one after we could run since COVID.
Amazing.
And then Deux Alpes we had about 1,000 people go.
So as you might have guessed, I'm not a fresher, but I was here from 89 to 92. We did a ski trip in 93. I don't think we didn't have an official ski club then.
Yeah.
It was about 100 of us.
Yeah.
So
It's a
just
completely different world now, yeah.
Val Thorens. So Three Valleys,
yeah.
loved it.
Yeah,
But 1,000 people, you can take a whole village with that.
Yeah, we do basically.
That is insane.
So yeah, at Christmas this year we're going to Val Thorens again. And
Can't go wrong with it. So it's really high up.
yeah, exactly, perfect.
One of the best ski regions in the world.
Yeah, and
So,
the ski
yes.
company that's running like.
Do you mind being on video, by the way? It's too late.
Yes. The ski company that run our trip are taking 2,000 students, and we're only 30 people of that. For our Christmas one's a lot smaller. And
2,000.
But there's 2,000 uni students.
So it's not just Exeter, it's other unis as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's become a national thing.
Yeah. So those trips were just us.
Yeah.
But this is like, because it's our smaller trip, we work with the ski company and other unis.
So do you have to be at a university at the time, or do postgraduates go as well?
Yeah, postgraduate. So to be honest, a lot of our friends, like a couple of our friends this year, are on years out on like placement years and stuff, and
Yeah.
they come along. You don't have to be a uni student.
So if people look up Snow Sports Exeter, they'll find out what they need to know.
Yeah, exactly. So that's our Instagram name. And
Instagram.
Instagram has everything on it for us. That's where we
Instagram.
do most of our stuff. Right?
Well, Instagram's where it's at.
yeah, exactly. it is
Unlike
these days.
back in 88, 89, when we didn't even have the World Wide Web then.
Yeah, exactly. You
The
don't have
internet
same
was
way of
literally
communicating.
just academics in the physics tower
Yeah.
communicating with people in other physics buildings. That was it.
That was it, yeah.
They had email, but none of the students did until the mid 90s.
Yeah.
Next to Devonshire House, we used to have something called the Ski Terrace. It's long gone now because when they built the Forum, they got rid of it.
Yeah.
It was basically the other side of D8. It was where you typically find about from here to there people talking about their skiing holiday they've just been on. So
Lovely.
we called it that. And that was opened by Princess Hour in '83. None of that was there until about 10 years ago.
I've always looked at this like you could tell a clear gap in like the architecture.
Exactly. So
All the bridges are
50s Great Hall.
Yeah.
Of course, inspired the Great Hall in Harry Potter, named after because J.K. Rowling went there. And the Northcote's been there since the 80s.
Yeah.
And the Physics Tower is still iconic. You can see it from everywhere. Horden Hills, you can see it. Well, look, have a great year and have a great
Thank
ski
you very
trip.
much. Cheers. Lovely to talk to you.
Lovely to talk to you too. Right, okay, so that is the Skiing Society. I have a feeling this video might go on for some time. What next? In case you didn't know, if you scan that barcode, you can get, oh no, it's volleyball, it's not even pizza.
This is not pizza, this is
So,
volleyball.
hi. I'm from, you may have noticed I'm not a fresher. Do I have
you
your
can be a
permission? Well, I can. Because, you know what, you never ever finish studying.
No, you never do, exactly.
University of Life. So, what now?
Do you join us for the year? Do you want to hit around a ball?
I'm too fat. I'd love to. Actually, might get rid of my tummy. Tell me about volleyball. Why is volleyball? So, how many societies have we got on campus? Because I've only just arrived. First time I've been here in 20.
I don't think you can even count them. There's
a lot.
hundreds.
You can't. You mean it's an infinite number?
Hundreds.
Exactly. So we had about 120. I was here 89 to 92.
Yeah.
We had about 120, and we did have a volleyball society, and it was good. But I was in the hockey, the student radio.
Yeah.
It's called University Radio Exeter back then, long before its expression. And the one thing that hasn't changed on campus is that physics tower. The view,
It's the oldest one.
I do physics, so I'm there all the time.
I do engineering.
amazing
Thank
views
God
from
I'm
the seventh
not
floor.
there.
Yes.
Great view. Great view.
Yes, it was always an amazing department. So are you second year?
I'm a fourth year.
Oh, you see,
I'm doing a master's,
are you physics? Oh, right, okay.
Engineering.
She's engineering.
Oh, engineering.
So I don't go to the physics building.
Do you mind that you're on film? You don't, but you're only next door. So the only way to, I mean, you get better views from the physics building than you get from the maths.
Harrison building's not any better either, so.
It's true. Well, I tell you what, the great thing about the physics, I mean, for us, it was crammed into 3 years, which was ridiculous because you only, in 4 years, you only just get through what you need to. So that was tough. And next door was the chemistry building, which is no more. It's
chemistry
long
anymore.
gone.
Yeah.
Well, who'd want to do chemistry? It's horrible.
I do a bit of chemistry. I
But
don't
you have
mind
to.
it.
It's part of physics. But yeah.
I don't mind a bit of chemistry.
So many of you have done chemistry A level to get here. So you've gone straight onto your masters. So what's your masters in? It's not just physics.
So I did my undergrad in natural sciences, which is
Wonderful, amazing.
I don't know if you've heard that degree. It's like
Well, my father's a retired GP, and in the 60s, you didn't go and study medicine at university. You went to Cambridge, studied natural sciences, and then you went to, say, St Thomas's Hospital, and then you studied medicine at the hospital. So he was really annoyed. He wanted to be a doctor, and he had to study botany and metallurgy and things he thought totally irrelevant. But actually, when you reach my age, you realise natural sciences is fascinating.
Yeah.
Because the future, he's become a doctor, but the future is the more we know about our environment and how plants grow. I'd love to be a professor of herbology, for instance.
funnily
You
enough,
could
natural
be.
sciences now isn't just about biology. You actually do physics, chemistry, and biology.
Well, it's life sciences, isn't it? And physics and chemistry are the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Those are typically the A levels you'll do.
Definitely.
So now I'm doing my master's now in theoretical computational physics.
Wow, theoretical computational physics. So is that a heck of a lot of imaginary numbers?
Yes. So it's a lot of coding,
Yes.
a lot of physics.
A lot of coding.
Yeah. So a lot
Coding.
of computers and stuff,
Of course, 35 years ago, nobody had a computer.
Yeah.
Nobody had mobile phones. We didn't even have the World Wide Web.
No.
The only people sending emails were people, say, in the physics tower who wanted to communicate with an academic at Nottingham University or something. Different world. But you know what? Still the same building.
Yeah, man.
Still the same atmosphere on campus.
Hasn't changed that much, I'm sure.
And you don't even need to be a pressure to get a £5 pizza. So,
if you cut there and show them you've got that, you get a free slice.
I thought I was going to have to pay
No,
£5. Oh, exactly.
Get that as well.
I was sort of hoping for.
So you don't want to join volleyball then?
Well, I think it sounds like I have
You
to.
won't be our oldest member if you join.
Yeah, you won't be.
Well, look, I want to get rid of that.
Yeah. Go for it. But those are our memberships, or you can follow us on
Do you
Instagram.
have Instagram?
Of course, I'm not that old. I'm 53. I'm still
That's
still
for our
down.
membership.
Well,
Okay,
that's
so
the QR
scan
code.
the code.
There's also this goes well. This is for our Instagram.
You see, without wanting to sound old, back in my day, it was a form. You filled in your name. There's no mobile phones.
No.
You just wrote down your room number. It would be like Hope Hall, which doesn't even exist anymore. Lefrauda is still pretty much as it was.
Lefrauda,
the original
Where were
box.
you?
Well, I was in Hope Hall when it was still a hall, opposite. Well, you still got Hope Hall. What the heck are the outlets? You don't mind being filmed, do you?
Outlets is it's
So-
basically like a nursery for that, like
What for freshers or for
no,
5-year-olds?
for actual like nursery kids, like children.
You see, that's amazing. So university students start at the age of 3 here. We had to wait till we were 18. Look, because you've asked me nicely twice, I will join. I'm not going to fill in the form with my room number because I don't know.
No,
I'm not in Lefrauda anymore. So second and third is Lefrauda. I will join because you asked.
We are a great club.
Do I get a nice fattening?
Yes,
Yeah,
go
I'll
for
take
it.
it, man. Go
Excellent.
ahead.
Excellent. Well, I nearly joined the ski society. I mean, I can't believe they're sending 2,000 students.
Yeah.
When we had 100 when we went to 93 last time I went on a university ski
Yeah.
trip. This has always been an amazing university.
I'll say this: if
Yes.
you're exploring campus, go around up to I'm sure you know the Great Hall.
Of course.
If you go up there, that's where there's 100 different sports societies in there, all doing the same thing we're doing here.
Well, I'm not going to join all of them.
No, but go have a look around.
But look, volleyball, why not? You know, why not?
great fun.
You know, it is great fun. I played beach volleyball, you know, when I was your age.
Yeah.
And it's great. I love the fact that, you know, it's accepting of people who haven't even been on campus in years. I've worked and lived all over the world, but Devon's always felt like second home. And 4 years ago, I bought a house just a mile down the road.
Okay.
So love it. In fact, I'm even thinking of returning to do something in life sciences. So I've had an interesting career, but it's nice to return to. I mean, your life sciences department is world famous. So, well, pretty much. And you're number one in the Russell group now, I understand, for
I don't know if we're number one. Maybe we are.
For satisfaction.
I'm not sure.
So you're doing something right. Of course, you've got the the extra MBA now. You've had that since the 90s, and you get
Chat to my mates,
you've got Northcote Theatre. Sorry.
No, I was talking to this guy.
Oh, sorry. Absolutely. Good to meet you. I will join. I'll go on Instagram. I'll scan. So I basically go on Instagram.
This is our fixture. This is where you buy memberships.
Tickets will be out by the end of
£5. No, sorry. You buy memberships.
This is why I buy memberships. If you want our Instagram, it's this QR code here.
Scan that code.
Yeah.
Right.
It's Instagram.
Okay. So by the way, there is a reason for this video. Student of mine and I, we're doing a podcast called Still in Love with the Ex, and we recorded the first episode today. And this is a kind of supportive video. So you'll find us on Instagram, probably something along the lines of Still in Love with the Ex.
Okay. We'll give it a follow.
The Ex not being necessarily being the people, it's the Ex as in the university.
Yeah.
So, although of course we had some beautiful X's here as well. Who doesn't?
Exactly.
Excellent. Have a great time.
Have a good day, man.
Thank you. Have a great day, man, is a phrase that didn't exist until Bart Simpson came along. And I think he was the one who initiated student speak that has permeated society since the 90s. Right. By the way, you can earn £11 an hour. A bit of a sense of deja vu here. Now, they really are making sure people get the message. I mean, you can't possibly come here and miss the fact that Domino's are hiring. I've never seen anything so well advertised. I mean, you are the 20th person I've seen giving out bags.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's sponsorship for our club, so
Absolutely.
we're just...
So who's your club?
We're
Do you mind being on video?
Oh, no.
Yes.
We're American football.
American football?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So they sponsor us, we get pieces of games.
But I was just saying to volleyball and the skiing guys, I studied physics here 35 years ago. We just had football, no other nationality. American football was just something on TV. Yeah. And I love the fact that you can actually do this in 100 other sports.
Yeah.
And we had 100 and something societies here at our Freshers Fair.
Yeah.
You've now got 100 and something, that's just the sports. You've got hundreds altogether.
There is tons.
So which year are you in?
I'm in third year.
Have a great third year.
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you. Okay, right. Did somebody say free pizza? Spin the wheel. You can get free cookies, free all kinds of things. But there is a long queue for it. So I'll be back, as they say. Not even hungry anyway. Now this is the Great Hall. Why is it the Great Hall? Well, for a start, many great bands have played here over the years. I believe, he might not be into him, he's a horrible person, but Paul McCartney played here in 1973 as a warm-up for his world tour. By the way, Domino's are hiring. I don't know if I mentioned that before. Right. I play 4-play events. That's interesting. Scan for tickets. Hello.
Hiya, can we offer you a poster?
I'd love a poster.
Brilliant.
Yes. Could you put it in my bag? Because yes. Why not?
Brilliant.
By the way, I'm not a freshie, you may have noticed. I was 35 years ago.
Really?
And it's pretty much the same. Yeah, I studied physics and the building hasn't changed.
Wow.
And I'm a former student and I were doing a podcast called Still in Love with the Ex, and we recorded the first one today.
I love
So
that.
this is a supportive video. So we'll set up the Instagram and stuff over the weekend. Look out for Still in Love with the Ex. which of course has a double meaning.
Well, that's such a good name.
It is. As is foreplay. Foreplay events. Well, that's a bit saucy, isn't it?
You see all the best. Yeah, it is a bit saucy.
Yes, well, obviously. So, who are foreplay events?
We do
opening party.
most of the student nights in Exeter.
Of course you do.
We also run the only on-campus event.
And you're in charge of all the foreplay. Brilliant. So you basically own all the relationships. None of them can happen if it's not for you.
But it's set up by an ex-student as well.
Oh, who was that?
Sam King.
Sam King.
Yeah.
When he's 10 years ago?
15 years ago.
After my time.
So it's all. He's still in love with the ex as well.
Well, get in touch with Sam King.
He'd be brilliant on the pod.
He'd be a special. I'll get in touch with them. I'll find them through the socials, as they say. So my knowledge is so old that I was 3 years before J.K. Rowling. That's how long ago it was.
God, that's so cool.
So of course the Great Hall in the books and the films it was inspired by this very hall. That's why it's called the Great Hall.
Really?
Yeah. Have you noticed that? Have you ever driven up the M5 after Bristol? There's a really dull sounding place called Dursley. That's where she got the name like that. There's a place called Ottery St Catchpole. And by the way, the whole story about Gandhi Street being the inspiration for Diagon Alley, apparently that's complete myth. It's not true. But apart, exactly. It's the kind of thing you hear on the first night. But apart from that, there's loads of influences. And to think, when she used to be a student, she went to the same Odeon. It hasn't changed since then. She was pretty much the same campus. That building was the same. The library was opened by Princess Anne in '83. Forum's all new. But so back to the opening party.
Yeah, so that's tonight. The Lemon Grove is obviously the student-only club in Exeter. So our Virgin Student Union runs every Saturday.
It's been called the Lemon Grove since about '87, and it's a really complicated story. I can't even remember why it's called. There's a good reason why it's the Lemon Grove.
Hello.
I'm a social sector for a society that.
I'll leave you to it. Nice to meet you. Okay. Right. University of Exeter Sport. Okay, you can get a 3-session gym pass.
Yes. Would you like 3 free sessions?
Well, have you noticed I'm not actually a fresher. I'm very stale, in fact. But yes, please, because I'm still in love with Exeter University. So I get a free 3-session gym pass.
You can go down basically 3
Well, the thing is, I live in Beacon Heath, and apart from Arena Park, you are actually my nearest gym.
Well,
So
it's
quite handy.
Yeah. Well, we're doing gym membership process. Are you
Old? Yes, I am. Sorry, am
trying
I
to work
what?
out with your would you want a staff membership or like
That'd
an
be very
online
rude.
membership
Would you
or-
mind appearing on a podcast? Right, okay. So, staff membership.
So staff membership
Yes.
is not listed here, but we are offering staff memberships if you go through our QR code.
Okay, scan the code. But otherwise, you'll find sport.extra.ac.
So Sport Extra AC, also all over
Yes.
Instagram. We have our AU Positive Instagram as
That
well.
is all very competitively priced.
So if you buy a gym membership, you're getting discounts.
Actually, they're good prices.
They are very good prices. We're trying to be as competitive as possible.
Right, well, forget David Lloyd then. This is the place.
We would love to have you. If you are interested in coming
Would
down.
I be the oldest person here?
I would be really surprised.
I know, I love that answer. Nice to meet you. And fencing, that's your speciality, is it? Fantastic. I never got into my grandfather was into fencing, and he had the scar as you did in those days. Everybody does eventually. You haven't got yours yet. That's because you've got safety equipment now.
Go to the continent if I want to get my scars signed.
You don't. It's not compulsory. You don't have to. You don't have to either on the cheek or. I suppose from here you want a diamond-shaped scar, don't you? What his diamond-shaped scar? His fencing. Amazing. Anyway, which year are you in?
Which year? I'm in my third year.
Have a great third year. So what are you studying?
Literature.
Oh, amazing.
It's fun.
That is never going to go out of date. It's like
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. We study the classics, so hopefully they remain classics.
I love that line. They'll always look. The Iliad is never going to go out of date, is it? Let's face it. Excellent. Have a great time. Lovely to talk to you too. This is look up Still in Love with the Ex. It's going to be a podcast. Okay, good. I should. Wow. You see, if Tony and I had been organised, we would have got T-shirts done saying Still in Love with the Ex. We'll do that next year. Google. Now they weren't at the Freshers' Fair. What the heck are these people doing here? Right. Okay.
Guys, if you
As if taking over the world isn't enough, Google have to take over the campus as well.
Yeah, we're doing it, mate. We're doing it.
You're everywhere. Tell me. So, what are Google doing at universities?
So
I mean, you own the world, really.
we're basically just getting people to download.
Right. For GDPR reasons, I have to ask your permission to do this. Hello. I'm probably meant to sign something. I'm doing a podcast called Still in Love with the X. I was here 35 years ago. So tell me about. So we've all got Google Chrome already.
We do.
But we can get £10 off a Chromebook. Yes, please.
It is donut.
Absolutely. Yes, please, to a discounted Chromebook. And what's in the box?
So these are donuts. These are Google donuts.
I love that.
They are Google donuts.
Do you have to be an undergraduate to get one?
You, sir, can get one yourself if you download Chrome and the Google app.
Consider it done.
Unreal.
Except I'm filming at the moment, so I'll do it as soon as I've finished. This is for a podcast called Still in Love with the X.
Lovely.
And have a great time.
All right, you too.
So I take it you're not from California, you're a student here.
Yes,
So
I am.
how did you get to become involved with Google?
It's through Raptor Marketing.
Sorry?
It's through like another marketing agency.
Of course it would be.
Yeah.
But you're a
Like
student here.
student marketing agency.
So what are you studying?
I'm studying economics. I'm in second year.
Well, I'm sure, who was it, Sergey Brin? Who found it? Yeah, Larry, no, whoever found, you should know, who founded, no, you're an agency, so you know who founded Google. Anyway, the guys who founded Google obviously were pretty good at marketing, so you could be, you've got a great future ahead of you.
Oh, thank
Google
you.
and economics. Amazing. Listen, I studied in that tower that hasn't changed, and I
what did you study?
Well, physics.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it's still pretty much the same course. Because physics, on the whole, most of it hasn't changed since the 1930s, so it's still the same. Except we had ours crammed into 3 years. They have the luxury of 4 or 5 now. That was a tough degree, but we didn't have the extra MBA back then. I don't think we had any marketing courses. It was physics, chemistry. Doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
we didn't have life
lots
sciences.
of marketing courses and dual honours now.
Well,
so
the world needs marketing.
Yeah.
We probably had about 10 computers on campus. I mean, nobody had personal computers.
Yeah.
Not even laptops.
Technology is ruling the world.
It has. I mean, the idea of, email addresses, I was saying to somebody down the road, was literally just somebody in the physics department emailing another academic at Nottingham University.
Wow, yeah.
No normal people, students, nobody had an email address till mid-90s. We didn't even have the World Wide Web until 94. It's amazing to think. Mobile phones were
So much has changed.
Mobile phones were about the size of these bags. It's just amazing. Which is why you got the car phone warehouse literally was for the car. Too
Yeah.
big to fit in your pocket. Anyway, have a great
You too.
have a
Lovely
great
to
time.
meet you.
Lovely to meet you too. Okay. Right. Good. Right. Really should have been wearing that t-shirt. Next year, Tony, next year. Right, buckets, heads, hats against period poverty. I think this sort of speaks for itself. Hello. Hi. Yes. Tell me about bucket hats. I am from a podcast called Still in Love with the X. I was here 35 years ago.
Oh, fabulous.
So, what is is period poverty what I think it is?
Yeah, so
I understand, which is obviously quite a sensitive subject.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
All of our bucket hats are handmade in Kenya,
Oh.
and our pink bucket hat range, bucket hats and loonies.
Yes.
90% of our profits go to combating period poverty out in Kenya. So all this money goes into a pot, and we buy products out there and donate them to schools.
You know what? This is the loveliest stand I've ever visited in the world. I mean, what's not to love about this?
They are pretty fantastic.
They are pretty fantastic, and they're supporting people who are struggling to be able to buy sanitary towels, basically. Yes, exactly. Which is important, you know.
And the hats that don't go to charity, directly to charity,
Exactly.
they're all supporting tailors.
And the thing is, although all these students are all affluent, not everybody can afford the basic products. You know, people on minimum wage, 0 hours contracts, it's really important. People in call centres, often, minimum wage supermarkets can't afford, the thing that people don't talk about.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
love it. Well, so bensbuckets.com. Have a look at Ben. Who's Ben? Is he?
Ben
You're
is
not
my
Ben.
boyfriend.
Of course he is.
And
of course he
he's
is.
actually running another stall in town.
So when did he set up? You must have you set it up with him. See all the inspiration.
No,
Go and just
no,
say
I
yes.
won't
Pretend.
take credit for that.
Oh, just pretend. Okay. So it's a recent boyfriend then.
Yeah. So
Okay.
He set us up maybe a year ago, but we've only been registered for about 8 months.
And you've only been registered with him in recent months. I get it. I understand now. Well, he sounds like a keeper. He sounds lovely. So, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And I mean, this is a properly worked out business. It looks like someone who's been on Dragon's Den. This is somebody who knows what he's doing. So, what are you studying here?
I do Middle Eastern studies.
And why not? Which didn't exist when I was here. I mean, I love your centre up, absolutely amazing.
No, it's fabulous.
And of course, another thing that's fairly recent is the mosque. It's So, are you going to be the person that one day is going to sort out the Israel-Palestine problem? Because somebody has to.
Somebody's got to do it.
It's going to take 1,000 years, isn't it?
It really, really is.
But so which year are you in?
So, third year.
So, or do you know what you're going to do after? Are you going to do a master's?
No, I don't think so.
You've had enough Middle Eastern studies. So what? Okay, it's a really boring question, but what are you going to do with your life?
So, possibly army, possibly
Yes.
UN sort of thing.
As somebody with 53 years of life experience, just do that. Just do it. You're gonna have a great career. And stay with Ben. I think he'll be annoying at times, but on the whole, he sounds like husband material. So.
Thank you so
Oh, you've gone red, but no, he is. Congratulations. And this is from a podcast called Still in Love with the Ex. It's a friend of mine and I, we're reminiscing. We recorded the first one today. And this is a kind of supporting video that we just happened to do our first episode on the same day as the Freshers Fair, which is a lot. We used to call it the Freshers Squash because it was all squashed into DH on a Tuesday evening. It's now the whole campus. So have a great year, have a great future. And can I take one of these? I'll put one of those in the car.
And I'll give you a simple as
I'll
well.
put one in the car because Ben's buckets are needed, and they're ethically made in Kenya. I love that. Fantastic. Have a great afternoon. Thank you. Right, I haven't even got into Devonshire House yet. This is the sport bit. Meanwhile, watch this. This is the Megabus Nutella shop. Okay, so. Is it so Megabus obviously is the way to get to London from £1. Take a trip back home for Mum Signature, to lemon and sugar. Oh, I see. Right, okay. I mean, does anybody mind if I just help myself to that? Probably not. No. Brilliant. Excellent. I mean, nobody's stopping me. Right, okay. I mean, this bag isn't going to be strong enough, is it? Brilliant. Well, who doesn't love a freebie? They come to. I think they are there for the taking. What's going on here? Oh, this is the army. Oh, right. So, if Ben's girlfriend wants to go into the army, doesn't have to travel far. OTC. Right. Excellent. That is. It's a frisbee, I take it.
It is.
Excellent.
We play ultimate frisbee.
Right. So you may have noticed I'm not quite a fresher, but I was 35 years ago. And I joined a society called Ultimate Frisbee. Are you the great-grandchildren of Ultimate Frisbee?
We are.
Fantastic.
We are the ultimate frisbee
So
children.
tell me about why is Frisbee, there's 100 choices of sport, why is Frisbee the one to go for? So get exercise. And who's Uriel? Curiel. Love that. I love it. Excellent. So tell me about Frisbees.
Well, I think one thing is we have probably the cheapest cost to training. So we train 5 times a week, up to 5 times a week.
Oh, exactly. It's not quite American football, is it? You don't need shoulder pads.
Exactly.
You don't
It's very
need hockey
cheap. You
sticks.
see the desk. It only costs £100, so it makes us something like the 55th cheapest out of 52, 65.
Hang on, sorry. It costs £100 to join,
membership.
and it's one of the cheapest. Things have changed since '88, when it cost £3 to join any society.
But that includes a
Gold-plated
affiliation
frisbee?
membership.
Yes.
So we
Love it.
get transport to games for free. We get
Oh, of course.
for free. All that.
That's yeah.
We get subsidised on our end season Christmas dinners.
Yeah.
You see, a typical society in '88, '89 was, there was no email addresses then, so you literally put down your name and room number, no mobile phones, and you had the occasional pub crawl, and that was it. I mean, and then you played a lot of sport. But you, as you said, you've had trips to. He's already got bored of talking to me.
No,
So
I
you
think
got.
with frisbee though, I think a lot of people start off as a beginner, and so I think it's like it's very like everyone is included because everyone starts like the same level.
So it's the international dinner for frisbologists. It's very, very Hogwarts, isn't it? I love it. So what? Tell me about how many people go to the frisbee dinner.
We had 77 last year.
I love that. I love that. So 77. So would that be a place like, I don't know, the Southgate, Rougemont?
We went to the terrace.
The Terrace. Oh, boutique venue.
Yes.
Nice.
So we had a 3-course meal,
Lovely.
and so with people's membership, it should have cost people £50 per person.
Yes.
We actually charged 36 because of people's membership free subsidised.
Sounds like joining is a no-brainer. So if people want to, by the way, this is for a podcast called Still in Love with the X, because you know, even in 20 years' time, you'll still love this university, I guarantee it. So how do people find out? They just go to Instagram and look up Exeter Frisbee.
Yeah, it's called Exeter Ultimates.
It's still called Exeter Ultimates. I love the fact it's still got the same name.
Yes, it does.
Brilliant, because a lot's changed.
And it's got all our links to our membership
Fantastic.
and all the socials that we do.